Salutations! Welcome to the Miracle Mall podcast. This is Mario Fiallos here. Thanks for joining us again. Hope you're having a good summer. Things are starting to get very hot out here. Anyways, today we have Warren, aka Warrenpeace on Instagram.
How you doing?
Say hi to everyone if you can.
Hi.
Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about a couple things, mostly around the topic of art. I'm an artist myself, so is Warren, but the main topic of our conversation beyond art is also art galleries. If anyone is tuning in, you should be aware at this point that the Miracle Mile has been doing something called the Spring Brew Festival, where we have a couple showcases of our art for art galleries at different coffee shops. We just had one at Cafe Maria on 43rd and Kennedy Boulevard. We're also now in the works of having one at NJ Park Cafe on 60th and Boulevard. And then thereafter, we're going to have the final home leg of the race in our storefront, I guess right here, 4308 in New York Ave, Union City. And here, joining me today, Warren is someone who also has had his experience and his fair share of art galleries. So we're going to basically talk on the topic, exchange information, just discuss the topic in general. So, Warren, I know you mainly from the internet, as most people tend to meet each other nowadays.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm aware that you're an artist and you create. I haven't had the fortune to be able to visit your art galleries because I believe the last one was on a Thursday, and Thursdays are my busiest day. But can you give us insight into how you've experienced creating art galleries? How has it been for you as a process?
Well, it's still a new process to me.
Okay.
I started off 2019. I went to one of those it was like a poetry slam slash
Mm-hmm.
gallery event.
Yeah, yeah.
Been to a couple. I was on those a couple of times
Sure.
before the year ended, and then after that, I did my own self. It was like an online gallery thing. I
Yeah.
tried a little experiment in the summer, and it went well. I created a separate Instagram account where I made it into like a gallery,
That's
posted
nice.
all my work and stuff, and people paid $1 to get in.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so it was a cool thing, you know. So from there, I was like, it's something that I can do it myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I had another one earlier this year, but it was more of like a pop up type of
Ah, okay. Where was
gallery.
that located?
It was at my school.
Okay.
It was right before the spring semester started.
Where do you go to school?
NJCU.
Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
so yeah, I go to NJCU as a fine artist, and yeah, so I did right before the school ended. Started. Did a little um, gallery event, and yeah, so this one will be my like official one, like solo exhibition, because
Nice.
I have a spot. I was blessed to one of my friend. He does real estate, so he was able to find me a location that was
Nice. Cool,
a little
cool.
bit cheap, like affordable. So yeah, so I'll be having my show there in
That's
a couple,
awesome. That's
like two
awesome.
weeks.
Oh, good for you. This
Yeah,
should be out by then.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Based off of that, what are your personal favorite mediums to use? Because personally, I'm mostly an ink artist. I
Okay.
use micron pens. I use
Yeah.
loose free ink and just color with it sometimes.
I've seen your work on Instagram. It's
Thank you.
very visually pleasing. Like
Thank you
it's
so much.
very,
Yeah.
yeah,
What are
yeah.
your fortes? If you don't mind me asking.
I like acrylic. I like paint, any
Mm.
type of paint. But at this moment, I like acrylic because it dries a lot faster. You know, I
Yeah,
can
acrylic.
manipulate it a lot easier
Yeah.
than let's say watercolor, even oil,
I don't
oil
even use
paint.
watercolor.
Yeah,
Honestly, what I used to do, not recently, because well, it tends to mess up with paper unless the paper is waterproof. Is what I used to do is I used to get water, and then get
right,
acrylic, and
right,
like combine it so that I can get like a faded color. Like
right,
so what I would do is like my main forte, as I said before, is like ink. So what I would do is like I would draw something out, and as opposed to like using like a bunch of color, I would just want like a tinge of color
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. Watercolor and ink,
Yeah.
they're very similar. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I started off using watercolor when I on like smaller canvases, kind of sketchbooks.
Mhm.
But then when I started moving more into canvases, I was like, I need something that's it can shine more, you know, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
What's your
Because
experience with oil painting?
oil painting,
Cause
it's
that's
very
yeah.
little, very little. I've made I've only had one piece I made, and it was for a school project. I have a bunch of um, cheap oil paints, but I haven't used it because they don't dry at
Yeah, they're
all. It
so
takes
hard.
it's so hard to
I have
dry.
a friend
Yeah,
who became an expert on using oil paint, and she always says that like it's such a bitch to learn how to utilize it
exactly.
and all
Yeah,
that.
and
The
yeah,
finish is usually why people stick with it.
right. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I paint really fast, so
Mm.
I don't have
The
that
patience.
patience. Yeah, I know like eventually ahead in the future when my work is more like serious,
Sure.
whatever. I'm gonna the more time I take, obviously, I'm gonna move on into acrylic. I mean, oil
Oil,
painting.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not even worried about that right now. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel you. Personally, I learned a little bit of patience as of recent because with this sketchbook here, I'm just gonna show it for flex reasons. For this sketchbook here, I've learned to be more patient with the processes of coloring. You know, it's really
Right.
interesting because I know you might know of, but a lot of people will like just like buy coloring books and just color with them because they enjoy
Right.
coloring.
Yeah.
I personally hate coloring.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Right.
I guess maybe it's because I prefer the act of drawing as opposed to coloring
Right.
being like a very fill in the like the line stuff
Yeah.
type of thing
Yeah.
most of the time. So I had a hard time in the last decade getting enjoyment behind coloring. Like I
That's cool.
personally don't.
That's cool. I'm like the opposite. Like,
Yeah.
even though I enjoy drawing, I draw a lot for more like thoughts, but I
Okay.
really like
The colors?
color. Yeah,
Really?
it
Yeah. No.
doesn't matter what kind
Yeah,
of
it's
material
interesting.
it is. Like, I love blending it. I
Uh
like
huh.
I like when it's like all like on your face, whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy using paint. That's why I'm a painter, I guess.
I I
I like
um
paint.
I had a decent experience with painting. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I just felt like the process of setup was so rigorous sometimes,
Right.
and in the process of cleaning up after it all was
Yeah,
also a very
it
rigorous
gets really
one.
messy.
While with
Yeah.
drawing, you just kind of open up a book and then you get your pencil and you just kind of go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I learned recently to like really sit on my work and like actually like, just kind of meditatively focus on the coloring aspect of things as opposed to just
Right.
being like hurry, 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 which tends
Yeah,
to ruin the
yeah.
process of coloring. So I've had to learn myself the I guess the importance
Of
of
color,
yeah,
yeah. It's because the thing is about color. Sometimes you can just put it, you just mash it up, whatever, and it might not even come out well.
yeah. You could
When I
use
started off, it was like that. I just kind of was like, oh, I like this color, or I like this color. I'm just gonna put them together,
yeah. It
whatever.
sometimes doesn't work well. It's
Exactly.
interesting
Yeah.
because I'm sorry that we're talking about color theory. If you
Yeah.
don't like
Color
color theory and
theory.
art, if you're not
Yeah.
an art person, just look for something else. I'm sorry, but this is gonna be an art episode.
Yeah.
But color theory is something that is very interesting because you can use colors that complement like blue and green
Yeah.
and fuck up somehow. You know,
Exactly.
like what I've recently gotten behind and focusing on is using colors that actually don't complement each other and making
Mm.
it work.
Yeah,
Like,
very like when they're very opposite of each other. Yeah.
So, like for example,
Yeah.
I have a drawing that, as I mentioned before, I use acrylic watered down to color over my ink.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have a drawing, and I'll send it to you because it's one of those drawings that I'm actually really proud of color wise. I drew it like in 2016, 2017 or something
Mhm.
like that. But it's basically like a landscape drawing, and it's like supposed to be like emotional, like it's like a sad drawing. It's summer, so it's like also sunny,
Yeah.
and it blends blue and orange perfectly. And I'm not a color person, so I remember
Yeah.
when I did that, I was like, like you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah, yeah. That's in 2020. I started focusing more on color because I took a color theory class.
yeah, nice,
Yeah, and
yeah,
that summer really I went very minimal, but I still chose which side where I wanted my colors to be at,
mm.
and even with my new pieces that I'll be working on, which will be at my next show. So if everyone shows up, that'll
What's
be
the date
great.
on that show, friend?
It will be June 5th.
June
That'll
5th.
be opening night. It'll be a Saturday night, and it'll be June 6th, Sunday, and then on a Monday, June 7th.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's 3 days. That'll be it. I'm gonna post all the information on my Instagram,
Mhm.
and yeah. So my latest works all I kind of based it on colors. Like
Mhm.
I had this I was watching like a Rothko, that's his name, but he's like a great painter from the '60s. But
Okay.
he he's his paintings were obviously like big, large scale paintings, but he emphasized a lot on color, and
Okay.
his paintings were very emotional. People say that when you see a Rothko painting, it's very very emotional. So
Yeah.
I took that
Inspiration.
idea of
Inspiration.
yeah of colors really putting out emotion,
Sure.
and so I started using like layers. So I'll mix a color that's maybe off, or like opposite to another color, and
Mm-hmm.
then like I'll go back to the same color. So it will be like layers on top of layers of just different
Ah, okay,
blend
introspection, yeah.
to get the main color that I want. So if I want
Mm.
like red, I'll start
Orange,
orange,
and then like
purple, blue,
crimson, and then
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oop,
sorry,
oop,
shit.
you're good, you're good.
Yeah, and then like yeah, and then I'll go back to red. So it's just a lot of blending. It's
It
even
adds
though it's a
layers. It adds
background,
layer to
yeah, even though
everything.
it's like a background color, it's more layers and stuff like that. Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. Personally, I originally come from using just black and white. That's
Okay.
usually where I
Yeah.
started. Very much so a darkened kind of person, um, and it was because my medium is ink. So that's where
Right.
that comes from. But it also comes from the fact that when I first started drawing, like let's say adolescence until like young adulthood, like let's say 13 to 17, 18,
Hmm.
I was mostly like a depressed human being. So my
Yeah.
drawings came from
That's everyone.
darkness. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was too.
it came from darkness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's new to me to use color.
Okay.
I'm originally someone who really focused on like the volume, the value schemes of
Yeah.
things, as opposed to like depending on color. My thing was I wasn't good at using color. So I was like, all right, I'm not good at it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave it minimal. If someone's bleeding, I'll use red.
Yeah.
if there's like a light, I'll use orange, but I'm using mainly black. And it was a good forte of mine to have for a while. But eventually, once I started like I guess drawing things that weren't depressing,
Hmm.
I had a hard time translating past the mediums that I was using.
Okay.
I remember just thinking like something's missing. Like I'm not like there's this isn't it. And so I finally came upon the aha moment personally. Um, I'm working on two illustration books right now. I'm working on one called The Drawings of Darkness, which is a process that helped me get through the grievances that I got through romantic heartbreaks, through personal endeavors. It's a lot of shit that I was going through. And I basically drew 31 of those drawings. You know what Inktober is by any chance? Inktober?
Yeah. I know
It's
what
like
it
that thing
is.
that Instagram people
Yeah.
artists do. So
Yeah.
I did Inktober for 2020. And I did all 31 days.
Cool.
And so I did those, and they were rushed and very raw. Like the emotions were just very rushed and on the moment. And I love them that way, but I still want to perfect them more. But anyway, when I finished out of that, I came upon the like a personal piece out of like drawing because the way I go about drawing, my relationship with art is I like to draw something and then divorce myself with that feeling. So I use it as an
Like
outlet.
a release.
Yeah, so
Like
I'll use it as
okay.
an outlet to create a concept based of what I feel or how I'm feeling. Let's say I'm angry, let's say I'm sad, whatever the case may
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And once I'm done going through the process of drawing that, whether it takes a day or a week or whatever, I can flip the next page and I don't feel that anymore. Like I
Mm.
can divorce myself from the feeling. So when I finished the 31 drawings of darkness, I was left with nothing left to hurt about. Like it was like I just went through every single concept. Um, so the first thing I thought was, okay, if I just drew 31 drawings of darkness in this book, I need to balance it out. Like I'm not trying to just be a horror concept or
Mhm.
depressing artist.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well if I'm gonna balance it out, it's only right that I draw 31 drawings of light.
Okay.
So now I'm working on 31 drawings of light. And that's where I came upon the confusion of, okay, so how am I going to draw this with light and not use dark?
Right.
So,
Okay.
like, if so the first thing I thought was, okay, so this means that I'm going to have to do minimal art. I'm going to have to do like lines and keep it really white. But that's,
Sometimes you have to start
yeah,
small and then
yeah, yeah.
eventually you build up.
Uh huh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You're very consistent.
Thank you, yeah.
I started off in my teens. I didn't really draw at all. I
Mm
actually was very anti-art. I was
hmm. Go
more into
figure.
sports. Yeah, I grew up. I was very like I was an artistic kid, high energy.
Mm hmm.
Always drew, but then I always played sports. But then as I got into high school, it was like a choice. Like, what do you want to be?
Mm hmm.
So I completely shut down drawing, completely forgot about art. I was like, nah, art's not my thing.
Oh, it's not my
I
thing.
got my junior year, I got picked. One of my teachers, he was like an art teacher. He like chose me to do advanced art, and at that moment, I didn't really like. I didn't know why he did that. So
Yeah.
there was always like a resentment towards him. Like,
A
nah, like
resentment.
why would you do this to me? But low key, I kind of had fun, even though we didn't really do a lot. He just kind of made us write. But I completely gave up on art up until like I went to college, and you know, my school kicked my ass, and then at the end of the day, I was like, I had to look internally, and I was like, well, who am I trying to be, in the future? Who am I? Like, who am I? So
Hmm.
I was like, let me just go back to my roots. So
And you
one
got
day I
down.
just walked to a Walmart, picked up a sketchbook, and literally just started drawing every day. I was like, whatever emotions I have, I'm just gonna draw anything. And
That's good.
it was so hard. Those early days were
Yeah.
so hard to draw.
Yeah, of course. It's
Couldn't
difficult to
think.
start. Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually it picked up, and I guess now I'm here.
Now you're
Yeah,
here. That's cool, man.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it's very interesting to hear another artist's relationship and how they started off with art, because everyone's relationship with art is always different.
yeah.
Whether you do something like pottery or you're a puppeteer or you paint. There's
Right.
so many different relationships and reasons behind it. And it's funny because what can seem like common sense to one person is like a breakthrough to another. Like, for
Exactly.
example, like we were discussing color theory before, right? Personally, it took me so long to realize color was like an option. Like, I learned
Yeah.
color was an option this year.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool. That's cool.
And that's what I was getting at, where I said like I needed 31 drawings of light. I didn't know how to start. My my
I
my
still don't
problem.
know. Sorry, I still
Good.
don't know my colors. Like the
Okay.
color names are just kind of like, oh, that's red, or that's yellow. I don't really know every single. I've met some artists that know like every color,
Yeah.
whatever color that they put.
Sure.
And that's not me.
I mean, everyone's relationship with their
Yeah,
with their mediums and colors is up to them, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Personally, I'm like I'm a newborn with using colors. So my
Yeah.
thing is like, as I was saying before, I was having a really hard time figuring out like how to draw light, because you know what I mean. Like, first I
Yeah.
thought maybe I should make the page dark and then like paint white,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I felt like it wouldn't be impactful enough to do something like that, to just like just use white. Oh, white has power in some regards, it does.
Yeah.
But since I was so used to having negative space, negative space meaning like empty
Empty
spots that kind of
spots.
distract from the main subject,
Yeah.
I realized that I didn't want to do that anymore. And then I realized the visible light spectrum is not just the color white. It's not just white.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
The
colors.
fact that we can see blue, red, and yellow is
Yeah.
because we have light. And when I came upon that breakthrough, I was like, it's color time.
It's like
It's color
waves.
time. Once I
Yeah.
came upon
Yeah.
that breakthrough, I was like, okay, no, it's color time.
Yeah.
And I just went like just all the way in with coloring. Like, I haven't looked back since.
Yeah.
That's my own
Yeah.
breakthrough. It's
That's me
ironic
too.
too,
Yeah.
because like it's funny when I say it out loud to my friends. I'm like, bro, you won't believe it. I use colors now, and it's
Yeah,
like
because once you understand how to use color, there's so many doors that you can open.
Mhm.
And not only like in colors and like paintings and stuff. It can be in anything. It can be like in photography. It can be like in film. The way you manipulate color, it
Mm.
can be visually pleasing, or it can create like a
Like
crazy mood.
chaos as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the next series that I'm trying to do. It will be less color actually.
Ah,
Because
go
I
figure. So we're
started
going.
off,
So we're going
yeah,
polar
I started off,
opposites.
big. I started off with pure color. I was like, boom, he's in your face. Like I got
Cool.
abstract, whatever. And then over the few years, I've been doing this. I've learned to really pick, my spots.
Minimalize it.
Minimalize it,
Minimalizing is
yeah,
important. Yeah, I
exactly,
just come from minimalizing. So
yeah,
like I'm like trying to maximize now. Just
exactly,
interesting.
yeah.
Art is really just something that's so extremely subjectively organized. Like,
Yeah,
what is common sense to one person is can be a new break ground
big,
to another. What I was gonna say, so let's talk more about the act of curating and organizing as opposed to just art in general.
okay,
I have a question for you because I've been able to see the internal workings behind organizing an art gallery. I'm the event coordinator for Reach Media Marketing, but I don't have anything to do with like the art gallery organization. That's actually Alyssa Sanchez. She's our graphic designer.
Right.
But I know that it's not an easy process to get all those things done. So what I want to ask you is, what are some things within organizing your own art galleries that you find it difficult, like that you find it stressful?
Oh,
Because
that's a good
it comes
question.
with it,
That's a
you
good
know,
question.
it comes with it.
First, since right now I'm an independent artist,
Yeah, so you're on your own here.
yeah, so it's location. Because at first I had set for May 21st because I had a location at first,
Okay.
but then things happened and I lost that place, so I had to find
Mm.
another spot. So I think the first thing is location. I think budgeting, really
Mhm.
like knowing what kind of things you need for your gallery. That's important. I'm really dealing with all this right now.
Yeah, I
Like
can imagine.
certain things that I need, like how many canvases am I gonna hang? How many whatever, like how many drinks or how many cups of
Yeah, just the little
water. Just little
details.
things, yeah, like a list of different items. And I think last is like a team, because I can't do this by myself.
Of course
I
not.
need I need someone. Like right now, my sister's helping me. She's like my little sidekick right now. She's helping me.
That's nice.
Yeah. My friend Okoye, he's the guy who helped me
Introduce us.
with the room. Yeah, and I'm still trying to find other people that can help me out with this
Uh-huh.
just a little bit. So yeah, just like the team, the location, and just like budget. The things that you
Yeah,
need.
those
I
structures.
feel like that's the most important. And because I'm not even like a curator, I'm really just an artist.
Yeah, of
But
course,
I'm
of course.
trying
But
to,
you have to play the
I
role
have
of
to
a
do it with
curator.
myself
You have to
exactly.
play it.
This
Yeah.
is some like grown up shit. I gotta learn how to do it.
Yeah, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
I've always been very weary about my personal implementation into my team's art galleries,
Yeah.
because I'm the event coordinator, which means that I'm the guy that promotes our shows and our stuff like that. So I always thought it would be weird to be like, hey, come check out this art gallery,
Yeah.
and then also be like, this is mine. This whole wall here is mine. Not
Right.
because it's wrong, but if I was an independent artist, that'd be fine. But I'm with a marketing company. I'm the event coordinator of the marketing company, and my art is up. I feel like that's too narcissistic.
Yeah.
So I've been very very delicate with including my art side with my company. I don't
Yeah.
like I'm independent art still. Like my art has never touched the art gallery walls. I actually want to do an exhibition, but I'm going to be doing so when I finish all 62 drawings. The 31 is the dark and
Okay.
lights,
Wow.
and I want to have them. But I'm only gonna do so when I publish my work, because I want to publish two different illustration books. My
Okay.
idea is I want them in book form because it would be an undeniable amount of quality product, um, and it would help to look into two aesthetics. So like if you're someone who likes dark and edgy drawings, 31 drawings of darkness will work for you. If you're someone who likes spirituality and consciousness, 31 drawings of light will work for you. So it caters to do two different aesthetic markets. So my idea would be that I would be releasing both books, and then I'd have a showcase where all 62 drawings are just scattered against the wall.
That's cool.
I want to have like I'm on the perspective of like slowly slowly creating my craft until it's a giant explosion.
Yeah.
That's how I'm approaching it myself. Just because I never wanted to fixate on my art. I actually never ever, and
How,
I still don't.
how long have you been doing art?
So my mom has this joke that she runs around saying that I've been drawing since before I could stand up.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I used to do this thing where when I was a child and I let's say my parents couldn't afford toys for me or something, I used to draw and cut out toys. So yeah, so it's like deeply rooted in
Yeah.
me to draw.
Wow.
Um, and I never really took it professionally. I just always just drew. Like in class, my teacher's like,
Yeah.
Mario, what the fuck? Stop drawing. And I'm
You
like,
used to draw like
ah.
on the side and
Yeah,
stuff.
the
I did the
desk,
same. I
my
did the same.
notebooks. Yeah, I was always drawing. But I didn't like. I still don't. I don't like how criminally underrated art is in this community, even in society.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to really network, really like pimp out your name, and really like go far and above and beyond, and invest in yourself, of course, in order to make sure that your art has that reputation worth X number. You know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
right now in the
I
fine
agree.
arts world, someone's out there selling a square blue canvas for $3 billion. and
Low
it's
key, yeah, that low key kind of pisses me off. But it's like, hey, man, sometimes it's who you know, and it's like
I
can't blame him. But damn, I
I
wish that
don't.
was me.
Yeah.
I wish that was
I
me.
wish that was me.
Yeah, shit.
The way I see it is, it's not something that I 100% hate because
Yeah,
if it's an artist making that money, all power to him.
yeah,
Better than some oppressive 1% billionaire who's just like abusing working force. Thank you. But the idea would be that I also think that it's necessary to recognize that art is something that is very much so a popularity game in a lot of regards. And
now more than
yeah,
ever too.
yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh.
for a long time, I
Yeah,
was very hesitant to get into that because I never wanted to differentiate the craft, the discipline of the craft,
yeah.
and have to you know clout my way into making my art worth recognizing.
Yeah, I battle with that now. It's
Yeah,
like
it can be difficult.
yeah, it's
That's
like
why I'm quiet.
am I trying to is my art for me or am I trying to please other
Yeah,
people?
that's why I'm doing the
Very
that's
difficult.
why I'm
Yeah,
doing the world's longest drum roll. It's because I don't
yeah.
want I don't it's
It's
not
a build
about
up, you know. It's gonna
yeah, I would
yeah,
rather
it's gonna
have
be
it
good.
that way than be like, "Look, I just drew this one page here, promote it like you." Like I'm
Yeah.
just quiet about it and then one day I'm just going to go 62 drawings,
Wow.
$40 per book.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
like just have it in that regard.
I'm always sketching around. I'm always prepared. So
Mhm.
and I also work fast. So it's a balance of I'm doing this for me. The message and the whatever, the visuals are for me, but the
The
colors, the things that
the
can,
the pop, the
the
pop.
pop is for the audience.
I feel that, and
That's what it is.
and it's a balance
Yeah.
of figuring out where you lie and where others lie in the
Yeah,
creation.
it's like a really like sad song with a dope beat type of thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi or some
yeah,
shit.
something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, so you gotta. I think as an artist, that's how
that's how you try and.
you have to see it. Yeah,
Yeah. Alrighty, Warren. So we're going to get to the final leg of this conversation, and we're gonna into the promo time. This is the
okay.
part of the podcast where we look at the camera, remember that they're there and all that, and you say, "Hi, my name is X, and this is what we're doing. This is what I plan on doing. Here are my dates, whatever." So, do you have anything for the camera for your sake?
Yes. So my name is Warren Mayenga. My Instagram is Warrenpeace with two underscores. I'm always posting new art over there. I got prints coming up soon. I have an exhibition in 2 weeks, so make sure you show up. This is, I don't want to gas myself, but I want to say it's some really dope art.
And what's the date on that? June what?
June 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Warren.
So yeah, if you're an art lover, it's not, I don't like, if you're an art lover, if you just enjoy, art, and
Come by.
just come by. There's
Yeah.
gonna be some drinks. There's gonna be some people, new faces. Just yeah, come hang
Awesome.
out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And now on the reach side of things, we are currently going through the half mile mark of our Spring Brew Festival. By the time this episode's released, I believe we'll be done with all these things. So this won't serve as promo. It's more just talking about them. After this, though, on the 28th, we will be having a. Everything okay? On the 28th, we'll be having a live stream show called the Virtual Culture Volume 2. We'll have a ton of artists there, including Soy Loco. We'll have Zoloft Zombie on there, Swervin, a few other numbers, a few other heads. And look forward to a bunch of shows into the month of June, music shows. I'm sure we're going to have a bunch of art galleries as well. So just stay tuned. We have a lot in store for you, so long as the weather permits and so long as the state of CDC guidelines don't have to be a threat for us.
They're
Alrighty.
confused. They don't know what they're
I don't think anyone does. I just think we
doing.
just gotta be a little safe about
Yeah,
it.
that's true. That's
Alrighty, guys. Cheers.
true.
Have a good one.